A little thunder boomer going on here. We'll make it out to the man cave before we get hit by lightning. I haven't been that bad, so I don't think that's a risk right now. Whew. Hey cats, welcome to my man cave today. Oh, by the way, I got my Husqvarna all set up, ready to roll. I sharpened the blades, I greased the spindles, I changed the oil filter, the fuel filter, the spark plugs, the coils and plug wires. It's all set up like brand new now, and it runs good and it cuts good. So I haven't had a lot of time, to be honest with you, at all. But what I did was I'd get home from the hospital probably about 8 o'clock in the evening, and I would mow until dark, because that was the only time that I had really. So I had maybe an hour or so to mow, and I was able to do a little bit here and there. But when I got back behind the pond, the grass was like a foot tall, at least. It was going to seed. This thing chugged through it, but what I learned was it's pretty hard on a tractor like this to mow that thick of grass. I should have raised the deck all the way up and hit it in increments, but I was just trying to get it all in one cut. And the mower clutch heated up to where the mower wouldn't turn on anymore. You could, flip the switch on and off, and you got nothing. A little bit of internet research. Thank goodness for the internet nowadays. It said, hey, when the mower clutch gets too hot, it won't work anymore until it cools down. So I parked it in here. The next day, I popped it up. Boom! The mower started right up. The blades. So that's what it was. I overheated the mower clutch mowing through that thick grass. Anyways, I just wanted to talk a little bit today about riding. I know the summer's winding down. We still got. We're coming into to fall here in a few more weeks. We're rolling into the end of August, then we got September, October, November, still riding weather, and it's cool weather, so my bike runs great in the colder weather. I really like it. I really enjoy riding when it's cooler. But being that we still have more riding to do, I just wanted to give everybody some safety tips, just to remind you, just to keep it in your head, A buddy of mine the other day, just like 2 days ago, was out riding. And he was behind a cager, an automobile, stopped at a traffic light, and he rolled up behind the car, a little too close, mind you, as he kind of admitted later. The guy in the car decides he's going to start backing up. Now, though he doesn't know, maybe the guy thought he was too far into the intersection or something. My buddy's on the bike. He's like panicked. He doesn't have time to like backpedal or anything, and he's too close to the car, really. And the car crunched into his fender. Luckily, he didn't drop the bike. He didn't get hurt, but his front fender got a good little ding in it. So he said it was something that he thought he might even be able to fix himself. But still, it just goes to show you how quick things can happen out on the road. So tip number one, don't follow cars or trucks too close. Give them some distance. Now I know what you're thinking, well, if I give them too much distance, then somebody's going to cut right in there in front of me. Yeah, that happens too. So there's like a fine line, but you got to give yourself enough distance in case something does happen, and in case they do decide to back up or whatever they're going to do or slam on their brakes, you have time to react. Reaction time is everything when you're on a bike, and you got to give yourself that reaction time. So when you're going down the road, whether you're in the city, whether you're in the country, you see somebody coming in from that side street, you must assume that that guy's going to pull out in front of you. So be prepared. Let off the gas, slow down a little bit, Look for maybe some kind of evasive, like, okay, if he does pull out in front of me, which way am I going to go? How am I going to go? How am I going to, am I going to be on my brakes ready to go? Yeah, have yourself ready on the brakes and be prepared, even though the guy may not even move and you may just sail right through the intersection. But be prepared for it. Assume that it's going to happen. If you're at a traffic light and you got the green light to go straight ahead and there's oncoming traffic, you have to assume that that guy coming towards you is going to make a left-hand turn right in front of you. And oh buddy, it happens. Oh yeah, it happens. When you're on a motorcycle, it's kind of like you're invisible. It's a weird thing, and I mean, you wouldn't think so. I mean, I've got some bright headlights on this thing. And I mean, they really light up. Day or night, they're on. So why can't somebody see me coming? I guess in their mind they see that headlight, but their mind is thinking two headlights, so they might think that one headlight is something further on down the road that's not as close as you actually are to them. I don't know. I'm just surmising, but it happens all too often that cars pull in front of motorcycles. It's like they don't see you. Their peripheral just kind of erases you out, like you're not there. I've talked about this in my last video too, about riding and then the number one spot out in the lane, that tire lane right next to the center line, where you're easily spotted. If you ride in towards the berm or the white outside line, you're going to be less likely to be seen there. So you want to kind of be more out in towards the middle of traffic where you're high visibility to where they can see you. Again, it's all preparedness, being ready for it. Now, not only do you have to watch in front of you, but when you're on a motorcycle, as well as I do, you have to have eyes in the back of your head. I mean, you got to be watching your mirrors constantly. You gotta, and if you're like me, I'm even like looking over my shoulder, and my peripheral, I can actually kind of, if I turn my head far enough, I can tell if somebody's behind me or not. And I like to know who's behind me, and I like to know how close they are. If somebody's following you too close and they're tailgating you, that's an unhealthy situation too on a motorcycle. You got two choices. You can either speed up and try to get ahead of them. Doesn't mean they're not going to stay with you and stay right on your tail either. So in a worst case scenario, best pull off to the right, let them go around you or whatever, and then continue safely on your journey. I also talk a lot about using the escape route. So, when you're in traffic, always thinking ahead, like, okay, if something happens, which way am I going to go? How am I going to get out of here? When say you're in traffic and you come up behind a tractor trailer, one thing you don't want to do is pull up behind the center of that thing where the guy can't see you. I like to get out where where he can see me in his mirror, where he knows that I'm there. I'm not right up on his bumper either. I stay a good ways back, but I like to be where he can see me in his mirror at least. And I don't like to be way over here where nobody can see me on his passenger side either. But the other thing is too, if something were to happen behind you, you don't want to get sandwiched in between you and the vehicle in front of you. So either being to one side or the other, whichever is the most practical, it gives you an escape route. If somebody does rear end you, you're not going to get sandwiched. You can veer off to the right or veer off to the left. You can find that escape. I've always called it defensive driving on the defense. Always looking out, always being alert, always knowing what's all around me, what's going on, staying attentive to my ride. I get some time to daydream when I'm out in the country and there's no other traffic around, where I can just relax and smell the manure, smell the fresh cut hay this time of year. Yeah, my yard absolutely smells like hay, fresh cut hay after I mowed it. I could bale it, not today, of course, with the rain, but yesterday was dry enough I could have baled my yard. But anyway, those aromas, you know, when you're out riding, sometimes are things you don't smell when you're in a motor vehicle. When you're on the bike, you take in all the fresh air, all the aromas. Yeah, it's nice. Well, if you're wondering about my wife, she was in the hospital. She got released to the hospital to go to a rehab facility. The rehab facility wouldn't take her, so they tried to push her off on another rehab facility. That rehab facility wouldn't take her, and they finally ended up putting her in a kind of a rehab nursing home kind of facility. Yesterday afternoon, this morning she was calling me saying, "Get me out of here, please." She said, "This is hell." I did everything I could to hurry up and get up there first thing in the morning, and it was absolutely, as she said, a terrible situation. I mean, it's where they put you in a room and they walk away. My wife can't walk without assistance, and to leave her in a room unattended, you know, when she has toilet issues or whatever else, unacceptable. And I told them this morning, I said, "I'm packing her bags, I'm taking her out of here." They said, "Oh no, you can't do that." I said, "Watch me, she's leaving. I got her suitcase packed, we're moving out." I said, "If you're not going to take care of her here, I can take better care of her at home for sure." So I brought her home today, and she's home. So I got to head back in the house and make sure she's comfortable. I've been taking pretty good care of her. She's doing pretty good today. Well, I think the thunderstorm may have passed by, but it's still, you know, coming down some rain here on us. So I'm going to head back in. I might put some of my stuff away, some of my tools away here. My head's been all helter-skelter here lately, and I walk out and I leave. I mean, I got my air compressor hose on the floor. I got my battery charger left there. And I don't like to do things like that. I mean, I even like to sweep up the floor when I'm done, and I didn't do that. So I'm going to tidy up in here, make the man cave all spiffy, and head in the house and clean myself up for the evening. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate your watching the video. If you like it, give me a thumbs up. Share it with your buddies, and make sure they're riding safely too as we wind down the end of this summer. There's still some good rides and rallies. In fact, tonight was a big bike night in my part of town, which I was hoping to be able to go to. But obviously, with the thunderstorm this evening, I think that got washed out and probably ended up being more of an indoor event than anything else. All right, cats, if you haven't yet, please subscribe. And thanks for watching again. Till next time, ride hard and die free.